The energy surrounding this moment in WWE history is unlike anything the wrestling world has seen in years, and it all comes down to one shocking act: Bron Breakker delivering a crushing, arena-shaking spear to none other than Triple H, a move that sent shockwaves through the company and ignited a firestorm of debate across the entire WWE universe. The son of Rick Steiner and nephew of Scott Steiner, Bron Breakker has always carried the weight of legacy on his shoulders, but in just a few short years he has gone from the next big thing to an undeniable force who is carving out his own identity with explosive power, charisma, and a ruthless in-ring style that demands attention. His meteoric rise through NXT saw him capture championships, headline shows, and deliver performances that left no doubt about his potential, and his signature spear quickly became one of the most feared weapons in the business. But beneath the surface of his success, tensions had been simmering between Breakker and WWE's creative helm, spearheaded by none other than Triple H, the chief content officer, the King of Kings, and a man whose influence shapes the company's present and future. Triple H had envisioned Breakker as a cornerstone of the next generation, yet somewhere along the way, that relationship fractured, with Breakker feeling that his voice was being diminished and his path undermined by decisions that didn't align with his vision of his career. The breaking point came during a live event where Breakker confronted Triple H face to face, demanding answers in a scene that had fans sensing something combustible was about to happen. When the two men stood in the ring, the tension was thick enough to cut with a knife, and as Breakker poured his frustration into a passionate promo about respect, opportunity, and self-worth, Triple H's interruption pushed the moment from heated to volcanic. Then, in an instant that seemed to happen in slow motion, Breakker exploded forward with a spear so sudden and so brutal that Triple H had no chance to defend himself. The impact shook the ring, the crowd erupted into a chaotic mix of gasps, cheers, and stunned silence, and social media lit up like wildfire as fans, wrestlers, and industry insiders scrambled to react. Some called Breakker a fearless rebel for standing up to one of the most powerful figures in the sport, while others warned that he had just crossed a line that could cost him everything. Backstage, the atmosphere was volatile, with Triple H regaining his composure but clearly rattled as WWE officials tried to make sense of what had just unfolded and what it would mean moving forward. In the weeks that followed, Triple H addressed the roster with a firm warning that respect in WWE is non-negotiable and that every action has consequences, leaving fans wondering if that was the prelude to personal retribution. Meanwhile, Breakker embraced the controversy, giving interviews in which he doubled down on his belief that he was fighting for his place and his voice in the company, insisting that his spear was not an act of hatred but a statement of intent. Determined to prove he was more than just a flashpoint moment, he threw himself into training harder than ever, refining his skills and preparing for what many now saw as an inevitable one-on-one clash with Triple H. The possibility of that match began to take on mythic proportions among fans, with speculation running wild over whether it would be a classic straight-up wrestling contest or an all-out war fought under extreme stipulations. The spear had become more than just a highlight, it was now a symbol of generational defiance, a physical embodiment of the idea that the future is ready to challenge the past. Triple H, a master strategist in and out of the ring, has been here before, facing challengers who wanted to tear down his empire, but this situation is different. This is personal, raw, and played out under the spotlight of a global audience. The question now isn't just whether these two men will meet in the ring, but what kind of lasting legacy this feud will leave for WWE. Fans know that when Triple H finally makes his move, it will be calculated, ruthless, and designed to send a message, but they also know that Breakker is young, hungry, and fearless, with nothing to lose and everything to gain. That's what makes the anticipation so electric. This isn't just a clash of two wrestlers, it's a collision between eras, ideologies, and visions for the future of the company. Whether the eventual confrontation becomes an instant classic or a career-defining disaster for one of them, one thing is certain: the night Bron Breakker speared Triple H will be remembered for years as the moment a new chapter